All right, so the last thing that we have left to do on our list is step number 10, which is to do the post-closing trial balance. Because like we've been doing all along, what we're doing is we're just testing to make sure that our numbers match up and line up and be perfect. In this case, right, we got that my equity ended up being the, the equity would end up being exactly what we solved for, which is the 40,601, right? And we know for a fact that we didn't touch any of our assets or liabilities because we just closed out our revenues and our expenses. So the idea here is there's two ways that you can do this and make it as simple as possible because you already know that your numbers match, okay? Now, one way is I can just simply take my balance sheet, right? Because my balance sheet is more or less like my trial balance, right? My debits are going to automatically be my assets. My credits are going to automatically be my liabilities and my equity. So at this point, I can just copy this information over and call it a day because at the end of the day, my balance sheet is my debits equaling my credits at the end of the day, right? If I just treat it that all my assets are all my debits and all my credits are my liabilities and my equity, then I can just make a copy of this, format it so it looks like debits and credits, and call it a day. And that's my post-closing trial balance. But if you want to be logistic and you want to go through every single account, it's up to you. You can make a copy of your adjusted trial balance and, just delete all of the revenues and all of your expenses and make sure that you update your equity. That also works too. Okay, that's the two options there. But as far as saving time, I usually just take the balance sheet and call it a day. Okay, so in this case, I go ahead and I delete my post-closing trial balance. Okay, okay, and I just make a copy of my balance sheet and I place it here at the very end, right? Make copy, and I call this one, oops, so I put it, okay, so it's supposed to be there, and I name this, PC TB for post-closing trial balance. And of course, I obviously update, just reformat the titles and everything, right? Post. Okay. Ending on 6/30, right? We're going to make this column say debits, right? And we're going to make this one say credit. Obviously, we don't have a total asset line right here, so we can just go ahead and delete this row here. And of course, we don't have total liabilities either, right? So you can delete these rows here, but you should add obviously your equity account. So I'm going to get rid of this one right here, and I'm going to get rid of this one right here. Okay. And of course, I'm going to add in my owner's equity because that's definitely something I solved for, which I know to be the $40,601. Okay. So then here we just, as like we've done before, right? Equal sum your columns, and your debits should match your total credits at this point, right? Because we know that through the balance sheet. All right, for the 79,18448 at 18248, and same thing on the other side. And there we go. We can call it a day. Now again, if you want to be more logistic and break it down to every single account here, you can do so like I've said before, right? At the end of the day, you're still going to get, well, you won't get the same debits and credits, obviously, but you will definitely get, You'll definitely get an even total debit with your even total amount of credits. But that's what I like to do just so then I can save time because, like I've mentioned before, right? How long did it take us to complete all 10 steps of the accounting cycle? Took us a long time, right? So, with that idea in your mind, right? Do you think you can do this every day or every week or every month? It took us exactly 1 month to do the whole entire 10 steps, right? I said I dedicated 5 weeks, right, to doing Coffee Cafe for the month of June. And we exhausted all 4 weeks, and here we are. We reached the end of step 10 to do our monthly trial balance or our monthly accounting cycle. So imagine how much you could do that. Now, of course, when we dive into QuickBooks, everything can be done in a click of a button, right? So again, this class is to teach you so you know how to manipulate QuickBooks in the way that you want to make QuickBooks work for you, okay? When we dive into QuickBooks, you're going to notice that you actually don't need an accounting degree. You don't even need anything. All you need to know is just the very fine basics of simple business models or ethics, whatever you want to call them, right? What's the point of what's the purpose of having a business, right? You do sales, you collect money, great. That's the whole point of business, right? At a very small scale. But now that we've learned the accounting background, now you are now able to manipulate QuickBooks in a way that you can control the program, all right? So, and then on top of that, you'd be able to fix any mistakes that you've entered into QuickBooks a lot quicker than someone who's never had an accounting degree, right? Or someone who's never had an accounting background, right? Because let's say I typed in an adjustment. I don't know how to do an adjustment. But because you guys all took the accounting class, you know exactly how to do an adjustment, right? You just pull up a general journal. You know that this debit's going to go in here and this credit's going to go in there. Boom. All right. So that is it. That's the wrap up of All Coffee Cafe. Any final thoughts?